amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remain blessed.
Just like the Labour Party, the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, is seen as a third major force in the country that can challenge the All Progressives Congress and the People's Democratic Party, PDP, for key positions in politics. Since the defection of Senator Rabiu Kwankwanso from the PDP to the NNPP, the party has received a major boost in popularity around the country. However, there has been a little romance going on between the NNPP and the Labour Party since the two presidential candidates were spotted together months back, sparking rumors about a possible merger between both parties. But one key question that has been on people's lips is who will step down for the other if the two parties were to merge. Speaking on Saturday with journalists after inaugurating the state office of the NNPP in Gombe State, the presidential candidate of the NNPP, Rabiu Kwankwanso, said that the Southeast will miss a golden opportunity if the Labour Party candidate is not his running mate in 2023. Kwankwanso also stated that the people of Southeast are good in business, but at the bottom line in politics. Joining us on this show this morning to discuss the position of the NNPP's presidential candidate and Peter Obi's chances in 2023 is Alhaji Buba Galadima. Alhaji Galadima, welcome to the morning show.
Thank you, Dr. Ruben Abati, for having me this morning.
Well, thank you for joining us. Quickly, let's talk about a likely merger between the NNPP and the Labour Party. How true is it? How far has the negotiations traveled, if indeed there are talks already along that line? And Senator Kwankwanso says Peter Obi should be his running mate if he doesn't mind. Peter Obi's supporters insist that that's insulting, that Peter Obi is a symbol. He has become a movement of his own, and I cannot be deputy to anybody. If you may just take us what the real details are.
Well, thank you, Dr. Ruben Abati. The first correction is that we are not the third force, we are the first force. It is NNPP versus all the other political parties put together. If there is a level playing ground, I believe that if the APC and the PDP come together, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwanso will defeat them hands down. If it is people that will be voting and their votes count. Secondly, I also want to say that we are not discussing a merger with the Labour Party. What we are discussing is an electoral alliance between the candidates of the New Nigerian People's Party and the candidate of the Labour Party. And I chaired the I chaired the negotiation for 13 good hours. And we have an understanding on almost all the issues raised, except one. That is to say, who should be the presidential candidate, the flag bearer, and who should deputize for him. 3, I also want to say that those who said it is insulting to ask my friend, Chief Peter Obi, to deputize for Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwanso are not politicians. If they are politicians, they wouldn't have even dreamt of that. Because they are just starting a movement 2 months ago. The Kwankwasia movement has been on the ground for 32 years. And the main objective of the Kwankwasia movement, apart from development, is to make sure that Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwanso becomes the president of Nigeria because he has a lot to offer And no Nigerian living today has ever performed while in public office as Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso has done. Now, it is on record that of all the candidates of the political parties, there is none of them that have got half the CV of Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. And I can count. First, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso was a deputy speaker of the Federal House of Representatives 30-something years ago. Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso was a governor of one of the most populous states and diverse state of Kano for 8 years. Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso was a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso was Nigeria's defense minister for 3.5 years. Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso was an ambassador plenipotentiary with accreditation as Class A ambassador when he settled the issue of the conflict in Darfur, Sudan. So not only that, let me also add that he is the only person among all the aspirants that have gone to formal school, from primary school, and obtained a PhD in water engineering. None of the aspirants have got this qualification. None of the aspirants is as exposed as Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. And I want to say and put on record that in performance while in public office, there is none of the aspirants that is 1%, has done 1% while in public office as Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso had done in Kano. Therefore, this has placed him top on top of all the aspirants in Nigeria. I understand that Chief Peter Obi was the governor of Anambra State, and he did his best to place Anambra on the map. But if you look at it, definitely, of all the issues that we raised, we had 20 parameters to judge the two gentlemen. However, when we started, the issue from Peter Obi's side was that there is a sentiment in the Southeast that the president must come from the Southeast extraction. And we said, no, we belong to a party called New Nigeria. Those are primordial sentiments that has never assisted Nigeria to become one. We are not yet one nation. And our objective is to eliminate all those primordial sentiments of tribe, religion, where one comes from. And it is only us that have the capacity, if given the opportunity, to make that happen. We want to build a new Nigeria. Do we still fall back to primordial sentiments of where one comes from and Nigeria remains what it is? We need somebody with the capacity to run this country. And I can't see using any parameter that would place the candidate of the Labour Party above Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. But he has a lot to gain because he's only 60 years old. Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso is 65. Today, the sentiment among those young men who are posting in the social media is that Atiku at 77 is too old and that Bola Tinubu at 69 is too old. So if you now make Peter Obi as the president at 60, by the time he finishes 8 years, Kwankwaso would have been 74, 75. So the young man again will say he's too old to run for president. But if you allow Senator Kwankwaso to become the president and Chief Peter Obi becomes his vice president, it means at the time Senator Kwankwaso will be finishing, even if it is 8 years, Chief Peter Obi would have been 67, 68, therefore strong enough to run for the president of Nigeria. Additionally, I want people to know that the development strides that Kwankwaso had done in Kano is unprecedented, and the kind of economy that Peter Obi had managed as governor of Anambra is unprecedented. Therefore, The vice president's province is managing the economy of our country. Therefore, if you make Peter Obi manage the economy as vice president, and Kwankwaso manages the development of the country, and bring this country together and unify it, it will be a seamless transition from Kwankwaso to Peter Obi. I believe that Nigerians should not use sentiments, and that patience is of essence in this matter. Tinubu has, for example, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was patient enough, bought his time, and at this age, he picked the ticket of the ruling party. I think people from the Southeast should manage this, because it is easier and simpler for somebody from the Southeast extraction to become president easily by being supported by a sitting national government, which we intend to do. And all the parameters of this sentiment that people are using does not hold water, because we have seen the Southeast voted during the PDP primaries. Of all the Southeast candidates in that election, in that primaries, how many did the man who had the highest votes, how many did he get? There were also candidates of the Southeast extraction during the APC primaries. How many votes did they get? So the issue of sentiments of Southeast wanting to be president does not hold water from these parameters I have already analyzed.
Right, thank you for that analysis, sir. We'll come back to Peter Obi, but I just want to ask you, you've made it extremely clear. We all know what the Kwakwasiya movement is. Not even just a movement, an ideology. We've all seen rallies with the seas of red caps. From everything you've said now, you're positing that it's not possible for Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso to play second fiddle to Peter Obi, and that he must sit atop the presidential ticket of the NNPP. So, is this about a Kwankwaso and Obi partnership, or a Kwankwaso and a Southeast partnership, such that if negotiations fall through with Peter Obi, you might consider another candidate from the Southeast?
Well, we are looking for the best Nigerian from from at least the southern part of the country for now, Southeast inclusive. And I want to say that if Kwankwaso deputizes for Peter Obi, it is not the ticket of Peter Obi that will gain currency. It is Atiku that will benefit. Because as far as we are concerned, if Kwankwaso steps down to be vice president, the people from this part of the country, if you are using the word sentiment, are likely to vote for one of their own who is running as president. But if Peter Obi is vice president to Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, he doesn't lose his followership, because that could have been the best position that people of Southeast extraction could have gotten in this 2003 elections. They are out of the PDP. They are out in the APC. So having a vice president from Southeast extraction with the promise and with the viability of becoming president after Kwankwaso would now make them self-satisfied. But we are looking at all variables, all kinds of people who will add value to this ticket. If we can get anybody of his stature from the Southeast extraction, so be it. We are looking at that, and we have a date with history. 15th is the final day of the closure of substitution. So we are looking forward. We are looking for people to come forward. Of course, I have already, as chairman of the screening committee, have already screened 11 people who are interested in becoming the vice presidential candidate of the NNPP, including women, including young and old. So our door is open. We would hope that Peter Obi uses his number 6 or number 3 to accept this offer, so that the election on the 25th of February 2023 will be a walkover for the progressives of this country.
Alhaji, a lot of people in the Southeast are saying it will be unfair if Peter Obi accepts to be running mate, because they want a Southeasterner on the ballot. because they want a Southeast president. That's their agitation. What do you say to that? That's the first question. The second question is... The second question, Alaji. Alaji, wait a minute. Alaji, wait a minute. I've not finished my question.
Hold on.
Let me finish my question, please. Let me finish. I'm the host here. Let me finish my question, Alaji. I'm asking a question. Let me finish it. The second question is, a lot of people argue that Kwankwaso is a one-state candidate. And I prove it to you. The only inroad he makes is in Kano politics, no more, no less. Even, I'll quote history for you.
So, Peter,
let me finish. Let me finish my point.
How many state candidates?
Can I finish my point, and you can answer afterwards? In 1979 election, you know, the political leader of the Kwankwasia movement, way back, I'm going back to the days of Aminu Kano. In the presidential election in 79, only won one state, and that's Kano State. And it's an offshoot of that Senator Rabi Musa Kwankwaso opposed. And a lot of people are saying it can only win Kano State. So what is it that really that the NNPP is bringing to the table when we know it's just a one-state candidate? Those are my two questions, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Since you've gone back to 1979, let me also tell you why my friends in the Southeast don't get their politics right. In 1978, Alhaji Shehu Shagari led a delegation of northern elders to visit Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe and invited him to join the national movement and to lead them to become their presidential candidate. The young Turks in the Southeast then said, don't trust these Hausa people. And Zik now went and pitched his tent with NNPP. And eventually it got broken into two, NNPP and GNPP under Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe and Alhaji Waziri Ibrahim. How many states did Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe won? He lost one golden opportunity for the Southeast to become president. After Obasanjo was leaving office, Obasanjo called the leaders of the Southeast and told them that he is going to nominate somebody from the North to become president. Therefore, they should produce a vice presidential candidate. All of them answered, Mba, 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 no, 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 only president or never. Obasanjo had a soft heart for the Igbos. He went and picked Peter Obi to be vice presidential candidate to Yar'Adua. The same Southeast petitioned against Peter Odili, Dr. Peter Odili, and told the EFCC where his money for buying delegates were placed. And the EFCC raided those locations and wrote to disqualify Peter Odili. So Jonathan was picked as vice presidential candidate. You see destiny. The Igbos, had they agreed, or the Southeast, had they agreed to allow an Igbo man to be vice presidential candidate, it could have been history that a Southeasterner could have become the president of Nigeria after Yar'Adua's death. And when Jonathan became president, during the completion of Yar'Adua's first term, Adamu Chiroma, Umar Shinkafi, and others called the leaders of the Southeast at Yar'Adua Center here. I want young men to know this history, and told them that, look, after the completion of Yar'Adua's first term, Jonathan should step down, and the North will nominate another candidate to complete Yar'Adua's 4 years, such that after Jonathan can also run with the person as vice president, so that they will now cede power to the Southeast. They said never, 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 never. And some elements of them went to Enugu and said it is Jonathan or never. It is Jonathan or never, that if Jonathan completes his term, he's going to cede power to the Southeast. I don't think it makes a logical political reasoning. So they held that meeting in Enugu and announced to the world what they wanted. Now they supported Jonathan. The Northerners pulled the carpet under their feet by telling Jonathan, calling Jonathan with the witnesses, including Obasanjo, to tell him that he's going to be given another term in office so that they don't fight Jonathan as president. And now they sidelined them. Jonathan became president to make 6.5 years as president. It was when Jonathan wanted to compete again that the Northerners ganged against him and threw him out. This history, young men and women and people of the media should now understand. Now, ordinarily, the generals, including Obasanjo, Babangida, and others that supported Buhari, ordinarily, they couldn't have done that. But it's because Jonathan insisted, after having been in office for 6 years plus, that they all ganged up and supported Buhari to win that election. So the issue is that the Southeast people are the enemies of themselves. They are the people who jettisoned the zoning in the first place. They are the people that, because their sentiment of, there is actually, let me say, Dr. Ruben Abati, there is no morality on self-interest. When people have self-interest, they don't care about morality. So they can't eat their cake and have it. And the only and the easiest way of becoming president is to team up with the NNPP, because Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso is known to be a man of his words. Ask anybody, and he's known to have supported those who support him. Look at his deputy. He was about the only person, governor, that anointed his deputy to take over from him. Now, the issue of Kwankwaso is the candidate of the south of Kano alone. But Ruben Abati, you yourself have told us that we went to Gombe and like the heavens were falling in Gombe, that we spent 4.5 hours to travel 20 kilometers. Are those ghosts or human beings? Are they going to vote or not vote? Were you not in Lagos when Kwankwaso visited Alabarago? Over 1 million people gathered there. Can any presidential candidate, including Bola Tinubu, gather that kind of crowd in Lagos? Have we not been in Calabar? Have we not been in Benin? Have you seen the kind of people that go there? Now, let any of you tell me his state, and we will visit there. Let him go and see whether Kwankwaso has got a support all over this country or not. Let me say that for today, I don't know tomorrow, Kwankwaso is the candidate to beat in this election. Because he's got all the qualification, he's got all the antecedents, he's capable, he has the capacity to run this country. We have the capacity to build a new Nigeria, not based on tribe, not based on religion, not based on where one comes from. That an Abati, that a Buba Galadima Bade from the northern end of Northeast can be the president of this country. It is better for all of us to build a nation than to build nations within a state.
Okay, Alhaji Galadima, with due respect, first, you said twice that President Jonathan spent 6.5 years as president. No, I think he spent just about 5 years. He was sworn in as acting president February 9, 2010. And then he won election as president in 2011 and spent 4 years. He didn't spend up to 6.5 years, because I keep hearing people making that claim. Now to the issues.
So, it's okay. Thank you. I concede. Some people are looking for to be Nigeria's president even for 1 day.
Okay.
He had the privilege to lead a country like Nigeria for 5 years. That is good.
Okay, sir. Now to my question. This idea of new Nigeria. At what point did Senator Kwankwaso become a convert to the idea of a new Nigeria? Because you recall, sir, that in 2014-2015, he left the PDP to go to the APC because he was one of those governors at the time who said President Jonathan could not have a second term in office because it was the turn of Northerners. This time around, he's saying that NNPP is the best option for Nigerians, and then he says if it's not the presidential candidate of the NNPP, that the party will collapse. Is the NNPP really all about Senator Kwankwaso? And if the Peter Obi arrangement doesn't fall through, doesn't go through, is there nobody from the East in the NNPP that can be vice presidential or running mate to Senator Kwankwaso?
In the first place, I didn't say we ruled out the Southeast. We are looking deeply into the Southeast. But there is a problem. It's not our first time that we picked a vice presidential candidate from the Southeast. When we were with Buhari, I was one of those who insisted that Chubo Okadigbo would become the vice presidential candidate to Buhari. He had all the CVs, political advisor to Shehu Shagari, Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senate President, number 3. Yet, when he became vice president, only he scored in fact, he scored 0 votes from the Southeast. The following time, we picked Edwin Umezoeke, who was a Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives under President Shehu Shagari. He managed to get only 3 votes from his own polling booth. So we have to look for. We are not in politics for morality and to lose. We are also in politics to win, so that whatever ideals we have, it will be actualized. All this noise that we make, if we don't win, it amounts to nothing. So if there is anybody, including Dr. Ruben Abati, that can assure us that he can have the support of his people, we will be ready to consider him and pick him.
Right. If the whole idea is to win, surely what you mentioned earlier and dismissed as sort of parochial, primordial considerations of where people come from should really be a much larger factor. Look at the problems that the PDP is experiencing because of the northern presidential candidate after what is going to be 8 years of a President Muhammadu Buhari, who is obviously from the north. The general consensus has always been rotation. So it's now in 2023 time for the South. So arguments for northern candidates, even of the caliber of Senator Kwankwaso, will be rejected in some quarters by people who are insistent on the fact that the presidency should come to the South in 2023, including disgruntled PDP members. What is your take on that, and how does your party feel about potentially fielding Rabiu Kwankwaso as a president and Peter Obi as a vice president rather than vice versa, when the zeitgeist is calling for a president from the South?
The arithmetic is against, in this case, the arithmetic is against Chief Peter Obi, because we want to win, we want to renew Nigeria, and it is only Kwankwaso that has got the idea to renew this country, so that some of us forget about these primordial sentiments. Of course, the PDP and APC are in turmoil, and Nigerians have not yet seen the end of this issue. Of course, because I predicted 2-3 years ago, even on this platform, that they would have problems, they will never be the same, because it is now God's anointed time for Kwankwaso to be the president of Nigeria, because he has a good heart, he had a good, he had a large heart that to accommodate Nigerians. He had the capacity to build Nigeria, to secure Nigeria, because the problem of Nigeria is lack of leadership. And we believe that nobody now among all the candidates have got those attributes that can make a new Nigerian like Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. Now, we spoke about primordial sentiments. You media must assist this country to come together. We must assist this country to come together. When it favors you, you say, oh, North, South. Oh, Islam, Christianity. Oh, we must do as they do in America, as they do in Europe. Now, tell me, let any of you tell me, how many presidents in America in their 260-something years of democracy came from the South? If Buhari's daughter could be a better president than him, I'm ready to support her. Because on this platform, I said when Obasanjo was leaving that I was prepared to support Yabo Obasanjo as the president of Nigeria if she is the best. This is how we Nigerians should be thinking. This is how you media should be tele-guiding the discourse in this respect. We shouldn't be dividing ourselves to north, south, north, this. It doesn't help. It doesn't help.
Alhaji Buba Galadima. So if you will support anybody, why is it difficult for you to support a Southeastern candidate in the shape of the person that is talking to your party now called Peter Obi? Why is it difficult? In the spirit of a new Nigeria, must Mr. Kwankwaso be the presidential candidate of the NNPP? And secondly, I'd like to ask you, somebody just correct me and said even that your candidate, Mr. Kwankwaso, that is not even a one-state candidate, that he lost, the person he supported lost Kano State in the 2019 elections to Ganduje. So he's not been able to even win Kano State in recent times. So it's not even a one-state candidate. That the so-called Kano he calls his foothold is not, he didn't win Kano in 2019 election. The person he supported, because I must confirm that he's not on the ballot. And my first question is, if you really talk about a new Nigeria, why can't a Southeast candidate be on the ballot and Kwankwaso be running mate in the spirit of a new Nigeria?
Because the Southeast, there is no Southeast candidate that believes in Nigeria as we have worked to develop this new Nigeria we are talking about. We've been working on this new Nigeria for 32 years. So we can't gamble with an opportunity because Kwankwaso can be president. I tell you.
So the Southeast candidate doesn't believe in Nigeria. That's what you're saying.
We are going because the issue.
The Southeast candidates that you're talking to doesn't believe in Nigeria like you believe in the new Nigeria. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
We have to get somebody who believes in our form.
No. So is it that the
we want a new Nigeria, not a tribal Nigeria?
So the Southeast candidates that you're talking to, Peter Obi, doesn't believe in the new Nigeria like you believe in the new Nigeria? That's what you're saying? No. Look, Dr. Ruben, you mentioned something, that Kwankwaso lost the election in Kano in 2019. I don't think that should come from you. I know you are a very knowledgeable person. You know what had happened in Kano. Kwankwaso took Kano. It was a conspiracy between the national government and the judiciary to deny him that victory. Everybody in Nigeria except you knows that. So, and Kwankwaso is not a president. We are not seeking for presidency because Kwankwaso is from Kano. We are seeking for presidency because Kwankwaso is a nationalist and that he has something to offer and that he will make a better Nigeria. He will build a new Nigeria more than any other person. We cannot cede this issue of building new Nigeria and trust it to anybody who had not been part of our design and plan for new Nigeria.
Well, Alhaji, I like your commitment. You did exactly what you are doing now for President Muhammadu Buhari before he became president. I hope that tomorrow Senator Kwankwaso also will not disappoint you. What's your relationship with President Buhari as he begins to wind down as president of Nigeria?
We are, Dr. Ruben Abati, Buhari is still my friend, but he didn't measure up to my expectation. And when he didn't, just because he's in power, I didn't spare him. Because I can tell him the truth. And Buhari will not... Now, let me say something, Dr. Ruben Abati. In this part of the country, for the last 20 years, nobody wins election, even on the platform of PDP, without putting his photograph, poster with Buhari. Today, in the whole of northern Nigeria, there is nobody that has printed a poster with the photograph of Buhari. Two, that there is nobody, his relative or his friend, that is known that has won any primary election to contest for any election, at least in northern Nigeria. That today, as I speak to you, have you seen during the convention, Chief Ikiobasi Mwakelu, Abacha's erstwhile Minister of Information, he spoke glowingly about the qualities of supposedly General Buhari and asked the PDP APC congregation, including his wife and including himself, to say that he loves Buhari. That's what Mokelu said. I love Buhari. Does anybody in this convention love Buhari? Raise your hand. Have you seen anybody raising his hand? Including his wife? Have you seen? Look, I try and find. When I said he's bad, the whole nation now supported me. Whether I'm dead or alive, Dr. Ruben Abati, you must write a book detailing my position. And I have not started. You know that even during Obasanjo, I was detained and tried for treason because I never spared Obasanjo's government. Eradua, my classmate, and my campaign manager, when I ran for the president of the Students' Union, offered me position to be minister of Abuja. I didn't take. Obasanjo's people offered me ministerial appointment 3 times. Jonathan's people, his sister Orobo, and Buhari's in-law, Bello, all of us were seated. When they offered me to be minister of Abuja, I didn't take. I am a principled politician. I do politics of principles, not chop, give me and chop. Therefore, if Kwankwaso becomes president and he derails from our agreement, let me tell you that I will be the first person to challenge him and attack him.
Well, on that note, we'd like to thank you very much, Alhaji Galadima, for joining us. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much for your patience to watch from the beginning to the end. I hope you have learned something from the video you have just watched. The video you have just watched is to bring information to your doorstep and for educational purpose. It is not to demonize anybody. Let us watch continuously and see who can be able to make a sense out of every nonsense we are seeing. We must continue. We move. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. They will kill us. We will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra is here. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you and remain blessed. Bye-bye. See you again.